Shame is something that Maya has to confront, and I was thinking about this and reading up on it recently, and I was listening to something that Brené Brown, an educator and writer, says about it. She says, shame corrodes our character in the places where we believe that we can change, that it almost paralyzes us in that place.
It paralyzes societies.
I wanted to know how you were thinking about that.
Yeah, I mean, the shame and honor are the pillars that sustain certain societies and certain people. And it can lead to horrible things like honor killings, because a family feels that they've been shamed by something that happened or something that a girl did. So in the same way, I think that privately one as a person can be paralyzed by shame. I used to be, this sounds unbelievable, but I used to be shy. When I was a girl, and we were changing to different countries and different schools, I knew that I was going to leave that school soon, and I didn't make friends. So I would always be hiding behind a book, feeling so different and so marginalized and so ashamed of myself that I couldn't sort of expand and be somebody until much later in my life. And until my 20s, I was just in a shell like this. Shame is a horrible thing.
All the way through your 20s, you felt like that?
I was very angry and rebellious, but I think that shame was such an important thing. Also, I come from a very Catholic, conservative, patriarchal background. I was born in Chile in the 40s. That's like the Middle Ages. And at the time, my father left my mother. They were married for 4 years, and my mother had 3 kids, and then my father abandoned her. So she went to live in my grandfather's house with the 3 kids. And the fact that she had separated from the husband and allowed the marriage, there was no divorce in Chile, was a shameful thing. Mm-hmm. And my mother was treated like a prostitute almost. And we were considered 3 illegitimate children because we didn't have a father, and my mother had annulled the marriage. So we were like bastards or something. So there was a sense of shame when I was growing up as a very young kid. And then that feeling that I never could fit in anywhere. You know, that feeling of shame comes back to me in certain situations.
When?
Cocktail parties. For example, in cocktail parties, I'm always the shortest person in the room. Now also the oldest. And I always say that because everybody's taller, all their shrimps fall on my head. But also that feeling that I can't make small talk, that I'm terribly uncomfortable in my clothes and my shoes, and that I don't fit in, and I don't look like everybody else, and I have an accent, and what the heck am I doing there? So I feel that shame.
So do you, when you have those moments now of shame, does that put you right back in that place as a young girl?
Yeah, and I'm working this on therapy. I am, paying a fortune in therapy. So I go back to feeling impotent, feeling little, weak, which makes me very angry because I'm not. I'm a very powerful woman. But then, inside me, I still have the little girl that is crouching, you know, and terrified. And every time I see the little girl, instead of cuddling her, as the therapist says, I slap her around. Stupid girl.